What is going on, crypto enthusiasts? Good morning and happy Monday, Liquidity Citadel. I'm hoping you guys are having a fantastic start to your week. I certainly am. I want to share some of those good vibes with you guys. Today is going to be a continuation of our 1K to 10K challenge. I'm hoping you guys were able to participate last week. If you missed any of that, the playbacks are there, so you have an idea as far as what we were doing. But don't fret. This week we continue, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to get into the market. We're going to be covering various coins. ETH, obviously it's one of the main ones, at least for me it is. We're going to be covering BTC. We're also going to look at USDT so we can pinpoint rotation. Coupled with that, we're going to look at some various coins that I've been trading, if you will, over the last week and a half or so. Some things that we've been utilizing inside of our server, the scanner that's picking up different opportunities for us. And we're talking about like hundreds of opportunities through the course of the day. So some coins that I'm still trading on, some of those that I've identified that I would have never ever known about unless the scanner was doing its job for us. But we'll dive into that more into the stream. In the meantime, let's go ahead and open up some of these charts and let's take a look at what we got brewing for us. So we're going to look at and start with ETH. We had some targets here at 1750 as far as for a potential long. This is something that was posted on the site earlier this morning. We could see that we have a little bounce that just occurred right there. I'm going to be looking at taking some smaller positions here at this area as I feel like there's a possibility we could be going a little bit lower on USDT. This is what I'm looking at for USDT. So I want to start building from the 1750s down to like 1737s. It's a hard stop for me if I get a 15-minute close underneath 1737. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. We're going to be looking at some entries literally right now for those longs. I want to wait for this candle to finish developing. It literally just started. And see if we can get some longs going in on here. If you guys have any coins in particular that you would like for me to look at, or coins that you have questions about during the stream, feel free. What's up, boy? Good morning, brother. Good morning. Always a pleasure to see you here. Always a pleasure. So right now it's just waiting for this. That's all, just waiting for this. Don't want to take the first move, if you will. You know, if I miss it, I miss it. It is what it is. I want to wait to see what this 15-minute looks like and how it develops. For anybody that already had their limits ready at the 1750, you're in. Congratulations. Now it's just all about managing it from this point forward. Yo, what's up, Sponge? What's up, Sniper? Salute to you, brother. You must be a busy man lately. I get it. I get it. All right, so this is kind of where we're longing at. This is where the setup was given this morning. I'll share that with you here now. So you guys are like, hey, where did that come from? Hey, nobody's lost in the sauce. So right here on our site, every single morning we'll have a pre-market analysis. This usually will come out between like 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Really, it's me pushing it, but just a matter of the timing as far as you know, when I actually get around to it, to be quite honest with you. So this was our limit. 1750, entry zone 1748 through 1750 inside this area, stop loss that sits inside this zone. One of the reasons why I'm looking at 1737 is because we can see that there's a shave bottom that sits right over here. And if we come down a little bit lower, we're going to get into this fair value gap. Now, if we start losing this fair value gap, right, as we get towards the bottom of that, that's like 1735. So if we lose this, this becomes inverted. Then we start hunting, you know, shave bottoms. I'm on a 15-minute here, so we got a shave bottom at 1724, and then the weekly low we have another shave bottom at 1706. So something to be paying attention to. This is the reason why I was setting my stop loss based on that. We really just need to fill in this fair value gap and hold that fair value gap if we're going to be bullish in this sequence. If I look at this on a 4-hour, you know, there's potential that the way I was going over this with one of my students earlier this morning was that this is all this move right here was the wave A, and we're inside of a wave B. Wave Bs can be tricky, man. Wave Bs can go to 618, 0.88, or they can go to extension levels like 1.3, 1.13, and sometimes even a little bit higher. But let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say, okay, well, you know, wave B was here. Then the way that I'm looking at this is that all this move that we've seen from the 1504 area up to this, shoot, I always do that. All the way up to this 1846 area, all of this would have been wave 1. And so now what we're seeing here, this would have been an A, this would have been a B, and then we'll get our C. So all this move will become a 1 and then a 2. So that's what we'll be targeting. But the long position is in the event that wave B is not complete. So we're going to be looking to see if we can push a little bit higher, and then we're going to start looking for shorts. Hopefully that makes sense. We took a scalp short inside of the mentor section this morning. So if you guys are peeping onto my positions, you're like, yo, you're short. I'm like, yes, we took a scalp short inside that lesson this morning. There's tons of reasoning behind it. I'm not going to dive into that because price is not there at this moment, but that's where we took it. Let's go back to this 15-minute. It's kind of where I'm going to live today here on this 15-minute. I'm going to be flipping between those two. I want to see how ETH is going to develop. Clo is another one. I think Clo's inside of a wave 2. So kind of just waiting on this one. I shorted from these regions down to here. We did that over the weekend for you guys that are inside of VIP or have this Citadel Pro handle. You guys saw this setup. So you're already familiar with it. It's already gone its distance on the short. I took some longs on it just as of yesterday, to be quite honest with you. And then I've exited over here. So I'm looking for new positions. Kind of liking Clo. Not going to front. Kind of liking Clo. Just because it's a fast mover. River, I believe this is coming into a wave 4. You know, we have targets that come down to here as well too. And then Beat is just kind of moving sideways a little bit. So kind of pulled back on that one a little bit. I want to see it come down to these regions, 1.567 inside those areas. We got some shaved heads here. We have one shaved head here. So let's just say we do get a little move up to the upside, right? We get into this little area right over here. Well, we're inside of New York range inside this area. So rule of thumb is, if we start meeting resistance right here, that's pretty bearish. Anything that comes into this area would be considered bearish retest, right? This would be considered retest. But if we move up into this area and break out a New York open high, have a small little test of it, and then push higher, we are going to go higher. So I share all that with you in the event of how to manage your position accordingly. These are the things that I'm personally looking for. Truth came up on a... let's look at Truth real quick. We got an alarm going off on this one. I think I was looking at a short on this. That's a 7. I'll wait a little bit longer on that one. Yeah, that could be a good opportunity for us down the road. We'll come back to that. See, now it's starting to inverse this fair value gap that was right over here. That's concerning, you know, from a long perspective, right? You really want to see it get filled. Maybe a wick goes underneath it, but you really want to see that this candle can close above that. I don't know if, I think it's on a 12-minute really, or 13-minute. We got a shave bottom on that too. Got low liquidity right over here. Yeah, that looks like that's going to sweep. Yep. If you shorted New York session, you know, maybe you didn't need, you know, the private call this morning. You know, from all the teachings that I've done live here on streams, I've gone over as far as how to trade the sessions, whether it be London, whether it be Asia, whether it be New York. You can adopt the same philosophy. So essentially open session range, that's what you're looking for. We broke out of that range of 1763. We have yet to retest it though. And this is on both sides. Actually, you know what? I take that back, because we did break out of it on the initial pump right over here. And then we had this move. You know what? I think I have a mistake here. I do have a mistake here. Let me fix that right now. This New York open range is actually up here. And this is my low. I think when I was initially charting it in the first open, like the first 5 minutes, I had those, but I didn't adjust those. So it's now adjusted. So 1761, we got to retest. Pretty wide range inside of here. And so all this becomes bearish retest. This level right over here probably gets a little bit of attention. Right now we're holding this fair value gap. And so all of this becomes the liquidity inside of that. If this thing pumps, then this wave one wasn't done. Maybe it just stretches a little bit higher, right into this fair value gap right over here. We get some alarms going off on Truth, but that was printing a 7 on a 4 hour, so we're gonna wait on that. I'm curious, are you guys bearish or bullish to start the week? Oh yeah, there it goes. See, now it just rejected that. Yeah, we're at 1752 and an alarm that went off there. That's probably gonna start going nuts. Let's move you down to wrong one. We need grab the crosshairs. Let's adjust this alarm. Let's move you down to my line right here. Yeah. Is that shit? Yeah, that shit bottom did not get cleared. Man, it looks like it did. What was the low on this? 1746.51. Oh yeah, it just missed it, just by a couple smidges of a hair. Yeah, so this shaved bottom is still valid. It hasn't been cleared yet. You know, I shared with you guys that the site has a couple different setups for you in the mornings, but even furthermore, if you actually go into it, if you go to the terminal section, you'll find additional setups that are in there. This is 100% free for you guys. Now, if you wanted to get a full breakdown of that setup, it's going to be inside of the VIP section, the Citadel Pro section, which again is still free to you. You're just utilizing one of our referral links inside the VIP access section. But in addition to that, we've also added some education for you guys, some free education, things that you need to know when it comes to trading, support, resistance, volume dynamics, harmonic patterns. Some of you guys are curious about that. Risk management is a big one. And then if you come into the terminal section, you can see that we have the bubble section, but over here, the scanners actually provide which one is we're current trading. So you can actually get a card on it. You can open up the chart for it. You can get some ideas for it. So you can go right from here, go straight into the chart and start charting it out. And you can see which ones are, you know, have the most volume, things like that. There's a full explanation that's inside of these. So you can have a breakdown for that. If you're curious about the economic calendar, that is also going to be there for you as well too. And then if you wanted to get even more information from like a fear and greed, if you want to know about BTC dominance, things of the nature, open interest, all that, that's going to be in here. And you'll go see some of these setups that we're looking at inside of our server. So just more information for you guys, for you to benefit, not only just being part of Liquidity Citadel, but making these streams worth your while in the sense of trading. I hope you guys like it. Got a couple y'all bearish, a couple y'all bullish. I hear you. I hear you. What is our first TP for that if we go the distance on that? $17.74, which is right inside that range. Just so happens to be right above that shaved head. Okay. All right, we're getting close to retesting New York open low, so just be mindful of that. I appreciate that, Spun. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the site does update automatically. So, you know, if there's a trade, if there's a scan that goes on and it has a probability. Now remember, the scans have different gradings, right? As A grades, B grades, and then C grades. C grade on the scans is predominantly something for you to watch, something for you to pay attention to. Well, let me put a disclaimer. Every single one of the grades you should be looking at and paying attention to in the sense of charting that and not just blindly entering. But when we go from a grade perspective, the C grades is something that's just kind of putting on your chart saying there's a move that's developing. Not all the time frames from a 1 hour, 4 hour, 15-minute, and 5-minute, it may not have alignment on all four of those. Or maybe volume is relatively low, or we haven't had a liquidity event occur on it yet. So that's really what's going to put a C grade there. A B grade is, it's going to be all of those that I just mentioned, but maybe the volume matches. There's already been a liquidity sweep that has occurred. There's alignment on a 1 hour and a 4 hour from a break of structure or change of character. And then your A grade, you know, you already have your liquidity sweep. You already have the volume that matches. You have a break of structure. You have a change of character, 1 hour, 4 hour, 5-minute, and 15-minute. There's all alignment on all four of those time frames. You know, we have some members that are they're a little picky. They only go after the A grades, which I totally get. Me, on the other hand, you know, I'm looking at all various different types of opportunities. So sometimes I do it a little bit different, right? Like maybe there was a scan like at 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and I was resting and I missed that opportunity and it was maybe a long. So then I'll see that that was an A grade. And the way that I treat that is I say, okay, well, these are the TPs that we have for that are designated for it. I'm going to look at a potential short on those TPs. So rather than entering into a long and saying, okay, I'm going to long here and then we're going to hit our TPs, I'll just wait for the move, wait till it hits that TP and then start building my my shorts. That's really how I did Clo. Clo came on our scanner a couple times and Clo had targets around like 26 and some change, stretched a little bit higher because the targets went from 26 to 29. So once it started hitting 26, I started observing that. And then once we got that liquidity sweep event right over here, I shorted that. You know, sometimes we need fast movers in the sense of like coins because, you know, ETH just moves like molasses sometimes. The hedge that I have now, just being transparent, it's a weak hedge just because of the separation between the two. So my main focus for the short is to, one, protect the long, but allow me to also build on the long. So, you know, let's say I get pushed out on my long, I'll still have my short running to cover, you know, any type of burns that I have. So that's why I'm just being transparent in the sense of the hedge. I usually like to have a wider gap between the price points. But I also wanted to be transparent in the sense of saying I'm going to take the same trades that I posted in my pre-market analysis. So if I lose and you lose, we lose together. If I win and you win, we win together. Let's throw on SMD real quick. Where are you? There you are. So there's one. I don't have one to the downside. I bet if I come down to a 3, I don't have that either. I don't have that. Let's go to an 8 real quick. I'm printing a 7 right now. Okay. It's on a 13. I'm on a 4. Okay. All right, let's stay there. Let's check this out real quick. Well, you got a sell signal there. All right, money flow's coming in, but RSI is coming down. And then we have bearish dominance that's rising, but ADX is running flat. So this is going to be volatile as heck. So I would anticipate to see that because you don't, and you're on a daily too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have that yet. All right, 1749 pushed the 1750s out. People that had tighter stop losses, so just push those guys out. Yeah, we got a small little shelf that sits right at 1750 as well too, from a volume profile perspective. You can see that on tape surf. I'm gonna look at CoinGlass real quick. See some of these liquidities. Whee! So much below 1693. And what do we have above? 1783. It's only 60 mil, 51 mil at 1783, but 250 mil that sits at 1696. Ayah. Ayah. Owie. Yeah, the scanner is on the website. It picks up it's only going to pick up roughly around 3 to 5 and then rotate them as those come in. Inside the server, you'll see more scans, if that makes any sense. You'll see more scans inside the server. So yes, to answer your question, it is on the site. It's actually in 2 locations. You have it under the bubbles, and then on the main page, you can see the scans that are already there. So if you go to the bubbles section, you'll get a little bit more details. And it's actually also inside of the Intel section as well too. So I apologize. This is actually in 3 different sections. And the point of the scans, you know, as I've said before, it's to diversify ourselves, you know, as we're waiting for moves to develop. Some of these other smaller cap coins, they move aggressively. And if you can position yourself, you can make good profits on those. This weekend was wild. Like on Clo, like some of you guys saw some of what I was posting. I was like literally like in 43 seconds. It was like a personal record for me. I was like, it just bounced, and the amount of profit in 43 seconds was insane. And then I ran it again, and I think I doubled those profits inside of like a 3-minute window. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna press my luck. I closed everything and went to bed. See, ETH has done this to me more than once, where I've looked at trendline liquidity and I'm like, bro, it's got to take it. It's got to take it. It's got to take it. And it's literally bounced all the way through. I hate longing on these lines. It doesn't mean that I won't. They're just so obvious. They're just so obvious. So if we see like a cascade event, like just drops from here, it's because everybody, retail, everybody and their mom saw the same thing, and they're longing that same bounce. That's the only reason why I have discomfort with them. It's because it's such an obvious area. But it's okay. We got the short for protection, so if it drops, I'm good. If it decides to pump, we're positioned. No, the bubbles are on the site. So if you go to the site and then go into the terminal, just click terminal. On the right hand side, you'll see 3 little tabs. One is order flow. Another one is going to be bubbles. The next one is going to be calendar. And the next one's going to be Intel. Here, I'll just show you. It would be easier for me just to do it that way. All right, so you're here in the beginning of the site. This is kind of how it opens. You have your pre-market analysis. That's right there for you. Welcome video for you guys. These are going to be wins. So as you guys are posting some of your wins inside the server, you guys will get shout outs that are on there. For example, Scissors did this coin, which probably came on the scanner, but he's pretty good at those things. So, you know, Scissors is someone to definitely be paying attention to when it comes to various coins that are out there. But I'll digress. So if you scroll down, here are some of these scans, right? And then if you launch terminal, you come over to, so you're inside terminal, you can pull up any coin that you want. This is connected straight to TradingView. So if you want to chart from here, you can chart straight from here. Let's just put that on there, and you have all your tools that are on there. So whatever tools that you want to use. So that's under order flow. And then if you come over to bubbles, give it a second to load, and then you'll see all the bubbles that are here. And then you'll see the cards that are associated with them. You can literally click on any one of the charts. Well, that didn't pull up Graham because Graham's not pulling up. Some of them won't pull up, some of them will. Yeah, see, this is pulling from Binance, this is pulling for something different. Which we'll tweak some bugs if we have bugs that are in there. We'll work through that. But that's the point, that's the purpose behind it. So this is just the entire market altogether. And then the scans that are coming up, you'll see them here. So for example, Truth, that alarm that you heard that kept on going off on my alarms, that's where Truth is at. But I have Truth over here. So I can actually open up Truth on my side. Yeah, so here's Truth. It gave us a sweep. Well, it could have been a good short. I actually might come back to that. Let me see. I got 57 minutes. Let me just wait a little bit on that one. Yeah, see, I don't trust that move. That's running to a point of exhaustion. Actually, before I jump ahead, let me make sure I actually have that here. So I don't want to trade something I don't have access to. Oh, I do. All right, bet. So Truth is on the radar. And you know what? I'm going to take it a step further. So I just set an alarm. This indicator that you see here, WHL, that's weekly high and low. So it'll automatically continuously move. So what I do is I just set alarms on it. So instead of me going to a weekly and looking like, okay, where was the weekly high? Where was the weekly low? I just have an indicator that just maps that out for me on any time frame. And then I just set an alarm for it. So anytime it crosses the weekly high, I'll get an alarm for it. If anytime it crosses the weekly low, I'll get an alarm for that. So it gives me a wider range to play with. So I just set an alarm for that. I'll wait for that. It just crossed the weekly high. Oh, that's a delayed one. Okay, that's a delayed response. Okay, that's fine. There's no way that it just crossed when I looked away. I quite often get a good amount of questions from you guys in regards to like education, things like that. You know, how I do things. That's why I put some of these lessons that are out here. You know, you have 7 different lessons, things that you can go through. And so literally nobody can say, like, oh, I don't know how he does it. And like, it's all here. Even the psychology aspect of it, greed. I think a lot of people gloss right over this. They don't even pay attention to it. But you know, something I was teaching earlier in one of my classes today, I was like, this is super important, the greed aspect of it, right? You can learn all the different strategies out there, so you're blue in the face. But if you don't break down the emotional aspects of trading, it doesn't matter how good of a strategy that you think you have, you'll always find yourself on the lower end of your win to lose ratio. Yeah, I think we should see another sweep. Honestly, like 1746-ish. It's starting to get a little dicey right in here. Well, there's a move that's brewing. That's on 15-minute though, so let's not get too excited. See, this is a little exciting from DMI perspective. We just need DI positive to cross and ADX to cross. And we don't have a sell dot that's printed up here yet. We may get a sell dot that prints somewhere down here. That sometimes does occur, like you can see right over here. Usually when I see them on the lower side or something like this, you know, you get a sell dot that prints down here or sell dot that prints out here. These are typically resulting in shakeouts. And then you have true selling opportunities when you have them at the peaks. Right, so there's a peak right here. This is a lagging indicator, just as an FYI. So price action came to this level, started breaking down, then you got your sell dot. So in a perfect world, we'd want to see a sell dot in that area. I'm just throwing on liquidity suite. Yeah, see, we got a buy side liquidity that sits right over here, 1845. That would put us potentially double top areas, keeps us inside of this bump and run channel. So let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say we get a move into this right here. And if it sweeps this high, what is this high over here? Like 1848, right? So maybe we get just a little bit above it, like 1849, just a hair. As I was saying before, I would constitute all this as a 1, and then I'd look for my 2. My 2 would be somewhere inside this area, potentially even inside of this area. So either here or here. See that trend line that it's holding on? So obvious, man. Like ridiculously obvious. It's uncomfortable how obvious it is. That's wrong. That's because I'm on there. Let's go here. You gave me a huge subwave there. Yeah, that's wrong too. I gotta fix that. Sheesh. Yep. There's a hot pocket that sits right over here. Can you give me at least 1849 and then we can come back down there? I mean, that would be fantastic. Let's go with a shorter one. Yeah, you still have that shelf that sits right here, 1661. Sheesh. One, two, three, four. That's what changes the setup phase. I'm looking at TD9 sequential now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's here in the next 47 minutes, right? Like if we're to come down to here and close under here, then it changes the setup phase. But you could see a move come down to here, try to change the setup phase, and then it pulls right back up. So if that were to be the scenario, then all it's really doing, it's attracted to this level right here, that shaved bottom. I would definitely look for long opportunities if that was the case. 100%. How much in the red does that put me? Yeah, I wouldn't hold it that long. I would wait. Actually, I'll leave that. That was from earlier class. These are the two swing points that we're looking at right now. See, we really didn't touch 618. And as a matter of fact, we're inside of a golden pocket for a wave B. That's where price action went to. Inside that golden pocket. So there's that 50-50 that this is where wave B is, and then we're just heading down to here. Ideally, what I'm looking for is I'm just looking for wave B to stretch a little bit higher. Give me something nice and clean. Give me some liquidity sweeps. Maybe even give me some liquidity sweeps in the buy side liquidity section. And then let's move on down here. That doesn't look appropriate. I think there's a couple people in the server. I think Gus and VSA trade gold. Not me personally. Let's come back over to this 15-minute. Let's just kind of babysit this. I'm gonna set an alarm on this trend line. Just in case it decides to move off of it. There it is. Okay. Let's save that. I want to check on Clo real quick. What is Clo doing? That's not what I want. Yeah, Clo looks like it's good for a short. Yeah, Clo's good for a short. And that's on a 1 hour though, but that's okay. 1 hour's good. River, still gonna wait on River. I think I have an alarm. Let's move this alarm to right here. Let's set an alarm for that. Beat, can't touch beat yet. All right, let me get some tea. Be right back. 62, 64. I hear you. Yeah, on Tape Surf we have these shelves. 1679 for ETH, and then BTC 64,588. We want to see if these shelves can hold. Come on, give me a sweep. Give me a sweep. Yeah, so we tested that trend line again. Yay for the umpteenth time. Man, this has the same setup. This looks like a bump and run as well too. It's just more steep. Tea in the morning. Tea in the morning. Our 1 hour just began, like 30 minutes ago. We just need we need a push. We need a push. We need a liquidity sweep event. There's definitely a move coming, at least on lower time frames. There's definitely a move coming. Anytime you see the ADX down like that, and then you have your DI negative and DI positive kind of laying on top of each other, there's definitely a move coming. If you're bullish, you want DI positive to remain on top and hold that dominance. But they lose that if it crosses down underneath. The bears are going to take full control. DMI is neither bearish nor bullish right now. On a 15-minute, that's what we're reviewing, 15-minute. Daily has bearish dominance, but loss of dominance, and it has a loss of strength on the daily. 4-hour has bullish dominance with bullish strength that's building. My cat's being weird. 1 hour bullish dominance is here, and they have the strength to match it. So you have a 1 hour and 4 hour that are relatively showing you bullish dominance. You have a daily showing loss of strength on the bears, which means they're tired. And all of this right here is compression on a daily. Dump and then pump, dump and then pump. It's just compression. Tea in the morning. Why are they buying here? Okay, so you were the... But you're not my initial swoop. You're my initial swoop. So what are you? Oh, you're another bump and run. Interesting. Okay, so you're retesting. I just caught that. Okay. Let me take some noise off of here. I already know where my shade bottoms are at. Don't really need the sequential count right now. I could turn it off right now. Long score 82 on 15-minute. $17.78. Yep, that's that area we were talking about. That's right inside here. And trend is showing bullish. Anyways, for anybody that has access to the liquidity suite, you know, purple, bearish downtrend, yellow, range, green, bullish trend. We're on 15 minutes, so 15 minutes showing bullish trend. But I was looking at this right over here. It's tiny, but it's worth noting because price is coming back to where that where the pan was. This essentially is the handle, and then this becomes the pan. So it's another bump and run type of setup, just on a smaller time frame. And if I go ahead and examine that a little bit deeper, that was a good test. Now you're coming back and testing where that handle was. Okay. Let's see if that holds. You have water, dude. I gave you water. You have water. It's in your bowl. Weirdo. I haven't looked at BTC yet. I didn't mean to do that. Ah. Here's another little tidbit, something that I like to observe. Like usually when we get sweeps, we'll probably get like 2 to 3 of them. Usually. Not all the time, but usually we'll get like 2 to 3 of them. Bro, I feel like BTC has all this room to go into. It's in a very similar pattern that ETH was in. It just had a deeper pan. I mean, that would be ideal for BTC. Can y'all hear my cat? This guy's going nuts. Yeah, I see it entered into a range right now. It's also got a shaved bottom on there. It appears to be a shaved bottom. No, it's not. It's got liquidity in it. Right over here. I mean, this could all be a trap. I feel like it'd have more room to grow into this. That would be awesome if it did. Main catalyst for right now is though it's going to be here. USDT's printing 1. It's got this 9 failure that sits right here on the daily. So if I'm looking at USDT as a catalyst, I want to see that sweep and then make its decision from there. Which would open up the door for ETH and BTC to get a little pump in it. Little pump. Oh, the tea's kicking in. The tea's kicking in. Man, I want to short that, bro. I really want to short that. But see, that's just volatile right now. That there's no like clear move on that. I'll just wait. But just know I want to. Ooh, are you setting up on a 15-minute pennant? Ew. I mean, he did have a bearish engulfing there on the 15-minute. It's a textbook pattern, but it's weak in comparison to other types of patterns. You gotta focus on this right here. You either have accumulation or your distribution here. If we see a flush, then obviously we have distribution. If we see a pump, then we have accumulation. Just remember, guys, we are running a small promotion within our server for some of these indicators that we're building. For the liquidity suite that you see here, and for future ones. There's 9 spots that are left for those. So if you're one of the lucky 9 to so much grab the liquidity suite, oh my gosh, tongue twister. Liquidity suite indicator for future upgrades that we have to this indicator and things that we add on that may be different, whether it be an Elliott wave or some type of heat map, anything else that we design, you'll have access to those. It's our way of giving back to the community, putting in the grunt work, building tools that you guys can utilize, and then taking requests for future indicators that you guys want to see, and then putting those into play. So I know a lot of people like free. I don't blame them. I'm the same way. But it's really designed for those that want to support the community, not just for a shiny toy. All the details are inside of the announcement. So if anyone's new here, curious how to gain access there, everything is inside of the announcement section. Alright, so this is the boring part of the day. I need to find, let's go to truth. Let's open up a truth one. Oh, did you pump? Are you sure the F did? This needs to recalibrate, yeah. Damn, this thing almost runs like Clo. Actually, like Beat. Yeah, this ran just like Beat. That's it. That won't work. There's only 2 ways I can make that work. That won't work. That's too sharp. I'm inside of B now. I'm gonna do something risky here. Where's truth? Let's find truth. I'm gonna open a small position on truth. I'm gonna lower my leverage on that one because I don't trust it. Oof, that's far. That's too far. Somewhere in here. So the question really is for myself is, sorry about that. It's, do I move along this way, right, in some fashion? Or do I get an A and then, you know, a B, you know, somewhere floating into this area? And then I'll get my C development here. This will probably be a zigzag. That's kind of what it looks like right now. So I need to get back into ETH. I need to manage ETH. Yeah, see, we just lost that trend line. So yeah, I'm gonna burn that one. Am I at the 46? I'm at the 46, yeah. So I just cleared that shave bottom. If it can load. Yeah, there it is. That's me taking profits off the short. My margin was a little bit too heavy on that initial re-long. We're probably going to get down to this 37 area. Short's still running. I did relong it on my side. All right, now's when it gets crazy, boys. That's truth. I don't like this. This looks like it's ready to clear that. All right, so I'm just going to take a little bit off the top for truth. I just de-risked some on that. I was a little bit too aggressive with my initial ad. That was my fault. I see truth is pulling back up. That's why I de-risked some of it. There it is. That DI negative crossed over the DI positive. What does it look like in 1 hour? Loss of strength. 4 hour. Nah, it's still building on 4 hour. It's your only saving grace right now, Saint. What's up, Solar? How you doing, brother? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The head short is mainly for protection. I burned the 1750. It was like a $80 loss. But the long, the short is like at 160 right now. So I'm still net positive in that regard. All of this area, like if we're gonna be bullish, like it really needs to maintain all that. Even if it flushed down like a wick, but as long as we can close back inside here, I think we'll be okay. In my analysis that I gave this morning, it's getting a close underneath here on a 15-minute that this thing's just, it's gonna puke. It's I would anticipate these 1706 areas if we lose that. You got a pretty big cool down here. What else do you have down here? So you got a couple down here. Okay, yeah, you got a couple down here. Did I just clear that yet? Not yet. Not yet. Is truth doing what I think it is? Yeah. Just wait on truth. Truth might give us another little push up. Yeah, I was heavier on my short this morning too. That's crazy. I think one of my students are in here, so I don't know if you're still in your position or if you close it, but it was a decent setup this morning. $17.33, yeah. That's this level right here. Watch my stop area be an entry. Truth move back up. There it is. So that was a good de-risk on that, which is fine. A new 15 or a new 12 on ETH. Oh, you got to shave bottom to start? Yeah. Oh, that was quick. That was quick. Okay, that's good. And then Truth pushing up some with another sweep right there. Okay. That might be too aggressive sync. Don't go that high. I missed that ad. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Come on. Get us to 37. There it is. That's what I wanted to see. No hold. If I'm quiet, it's just because I'm focused. That's all. I'm focused. This is what it sounds like when I'm focused. Silence. All right, you've cleared a good amount. I'm seeing if this area can hold or if it's going to flush through it on ETH. It's kind of a pivotal area here. Like if we're going to be bullish, this is the area that it needs to hold. But I have this short running in the background, so I'm good either way, to be quite honest. There it goes. I'm on. Somebody's gonna be watching the playback, hearing all the dings. They're gonna be like, "What is going on?" Yeah, that's distribution. That's what that was earlier. Longs are gonna get squeezed. Very dicey area. Very dicey area. Didn't even come back. Oh, did it do what I thought what it was gonna do? Yeah, that's a continuation. A textbook pattern that you actually print it. That's funny. Why aren't you selecting? There you go. That was the clue first. Didn't even give you the retest for it. And de-risk some of that. That works. All right. Show it to me. Show it to me. Show it to me. Show it to me. What are you going to do here, ETH? You need to get back above this. Yes, I am. This isn't coming down the way that I want to see it come down. I'm probably going to see a liquidity event up to here. Yeah. I mean, I got 2 sweeps so far on a 1 hour. That was a decent move for ETH. Decent-ish. All right, so we got some setups, we got some plays. Now it's just about managing them. If you guys are enjoying the stream, you guys are enjoying the setups, if you guys are getting in, if you guys are learning, please do me a solid. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and smash it. We stream like this several times a week, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Let's check on Clo real quick. Look at Clo. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't touch that one yet. What is Beat doing? Beat's still there. River, don't trust River yet. All right, new fresh 15-minute. Moment of truth, if it holds. You're gonna go into a range. Not a good look. Not a good look. Yeah, maybe. But then you need to go deeper if that's the case. They would need to go deeper. Yeah, you would need to go deeper. So just a scalp on that. Get some water, be right back. High or low on a 15-minute. It's worth watching. And truth. Truth is right back up here again. Truth is just hanging out. Truth is just hanging out. I want to see something real quick. Are you a sub? Make a lot of sense. If you're not a sub, then you're going to develop a 2. Yeah. Yep. We'll really know more how this is handled. We can't even get inside of this, then super bearish. Let's check something out real quick. Let's go back to 1 hour. That was loss of strength. DMI is not my favorite there. Ooh, we do got a sell out on a 4 hour though. Yeah, we got conflicting indicators here. We got a sell here, but we still have bullish dominance that's trying to develop. I don't like that. They're not aligned. I want to see alignment. That's ideally what I'd be looking for, is alignment. Like I said again, truth is just hanging out. That was a good move on truth. Just de-risk a little bit on truth. I didn't de-risk enough. There you go. I feel a bit better about that. Okay. And running that one's on 11. Okay. Slowly compound, slowly compound. A quick second. Oh, shoot, I need that phone call. I gotta call them back up the stream. That's important. Let's see how this candle performs. Yeah, it's not performing well. Truth just moved up a little bit. A little bear trap on truth. Let's see if Truth MACD can actually flip red. Yeah, Truth went for that second sweep. There it is. Or a third sweep, excuse me. ETH coming right back down again. Yep, there it is. So these small little de-risks that you hear me taking, they've basically all just paid for the first initial burn I had on ETH. And now I have surplus from the unrealized. But even if everything went to break even, right, which wouldn't be possible because I'm hedged on ETH. So now we're at surplus. And let's see if we can get Truth to hang on here. We got 3 liquidity sweep events on a 2-minute. Let's go to a 5-minute. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3. A stronger one here. That's on the Liquidity Citadel suite. I think initially we need to start testing this area right over here, which is 7.9 something. Just needs to take a small breather. That's really it. Just needs to take a small breather. Man, I hope it closes as a shooting star. That would be phenomenal. Shooting star followed by a bearish engulfing. Jesse. Yeah, I want to see how Truth performs To answer your question, I want to see what occurs here. You know, on execution timeframes, we got some liquidity sweep events, but they're still holding. Mainly all this space that I really want to just see all that cleared, and then maybe we can get in here, but for sure I want to see this. ETH is having a hard time right here. I wonder if that closed as a doji on a 15-minute. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, 10 cents from each other, so it closed as a doji. So we got indecision right there. I'm so glad I've kind of switched up my view on other coins with the indicator, because ETH has just been driving me nuts the last like 4 months. A nice move on River. Yeah, I think somebody caught that. Nice move. Damn, this thing has gone dormant. Makes sense. Well, they're giving you a decision now. Shave bottoms, shave bottoms. Yeah, we're going to come back in here. We're going to test the full extent of this fair value gap. What was that? Yeah, come back down. Don't do that. Come back down. Clear this first. Don't do that. Ain't no way. Bro, if this thing pumped, I'm just saying if it pumped, because, I mean, it would be pure manipulation. They just trapped a whole bunch of shorts if that thing pumped. Because they did it to him here once, but that was just a wave A, and then B. Then trapped longs on that. But you know what? We never even came back and tested this wick either. Let's just put that out there. No. No way. You're not going to do that. No way. You're not going to do that. I would be very shocked. Very, very shocked. The make sense move is to come down here, to be honest with you. Create a new weekly low. Yeah. Because you got a shave bottom right here. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit off of that. Oh, there it goes. There you go, ETH. I knew you'd do something retarded like that. There you go. Woo! Yep. It just flushed them. There you go, buddy. There you go. Oh, they're whipsawing now. Oh, they're whipsawing. No, 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 no. I have something completely different on this other chart here. What? I know, I see it. Yeah, they're whipsawing. Moneyman has entered the chat. Be careful. Be very careful. I got a different chart open, but I just opened it up here for you guys. You can see it. They're whipsawing. They're trying to induce you. Cleared and cleared. Remember those two that we were just talking about? I was sitting there telling you to come back down and clear it. It was cleared and cleared. What is this doing? This doesn't even have really real strength in it. No, that won't work. Oh, that could work. That could work. No, that's too deep. That's too deep. Where's that wick? That worked. It's still a little tight. I can get an anti-crab like that. That puts New York open low on the table for a target. Can't touch Chloe yet. Ran all those stops. And what are we saying? We're looking at a 15-minute close underneath. Moneyman has entered the chat, folks. Trade at high risk. I took that, by the way. You heard the dings. Oh, Truth is looking good. What did Truth do? Oh, hello. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit off of that. Oh, all right. I'll start it from beat. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's all your fault, boy. You're the culprit. Yeah, but are you guys finding it easier to find some setups now that we have the scanner? Is it making it easier for you guys? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I mean, because if we have this PRZ from this triangle looking formation here, then we're looking to test New York open lows at some point, whether that be today or going into Asia. New York PM session just began like 49 minutes ago. So let's see what the PM session wants to give us. Yeah, 1736 was an area. We need to see intent really build right around here. Because let's throw this back on. Remember, we had a fair value gap that was right over here. See how it got filled? We got wicks underneath it. But if we start closing underneath that, we're toast. The setup that I had shared with you guys on the site was a close underneath 1737 on a 15-minute. We came right to it, but we don't have that close just yet. So essentially the trade is still valid. Yes, the entry was higher inside of those areas, but I'm showing you in validation, just trying to be transparent with that in that regard. Nice move, ETH. Can you get out of there, or are you stuck? You might be stuck. This would be phenomenal. We can just get. I'm gonna de-risk a little bit here on ETH. So that way I can at least be in profits all across the board. All right, we're in profits all across the board. And I'm happy with that. I'm okay with those margins. I'm okay with those. Okay. Oh, you flipped from a range. You come back down again. There you go. There you go. Yeah. You got to be careful with this close on this 15 minute. This 15-minute candle is kind of going to be the make or break for it. See, this is why it keeps flipping from a yellow, because if we close underneath here, it throws it into bearish momentum. Bearish engulfing, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But how long do you have? You got 6 minutes left in you. Maybe might come back and revisit. I'd rather de-risk and take some profits off of it. Come on, fill the rest of this gap. Try to fill as much as you can, Truth. ETH has that little push. Same thing, just gonna de-risk a little bit here. And so when I start to see these little moves like this, I mean, I get this question, so that's why I'm explaining this. Maybe nobody asked in the chat, but maybe you're thinking it. Like when I get an entry right over here, you know, my margin might be a little bit heavier, but once I start seeing these moves and I start popping up a little bit, I'll immediately start de-risking, one, to cover fees, but also in the event that I come back down to these levels, I can not only break even if that's my choice, but I could also add back to my position because I've already taken some profits off of it thus so far. And just lower your leverage too, guys. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are trying to turn 100 into, you know, $5 million with 125x leverage or anything higher. And I myself have ran higher leverage before. I have. So I'm not immune to that. But over the course of the last, I'd say probably like the last 3 weeks, really, I've just been testing lower margins, especially on some of these newer coins that I've been trading, like Clo. River's really not new, but it's new to me in the sense of how I've been trading it. Beat's 100% new to me. And then Truth, obviously Truth is new too. So just running lower leverage with a larger margin, it gives you a little bit more grace in the sense of stop loss. You can sit in red for a little bit in the event that you don't have that, you know, Pico bottom or Pico top. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room to play with. But the profits will come. Right? So you don't need to have that heavy leverage. Now, counter argument to that is, if you're running with a smaller portfolio and you're trying to build it, in that case, yes, I would say, it's going to take you a very long time if you're running, smaller margin positions with a smaller leverage. Yes, you are. So in that particular case, you have like $100 account or, a $500 account. You're probably going to have to increase your leverage, but you're going to have to be way more precise with your entries, which means you'll have to have a heavier dosage of patience. And the trick is, really not a trick, but the secret sauce is sometimes folks run into the situation of closing a position too early. Like, damn, I should have held on to it. One, you didn't fully trust your setup. Just call it what it is. And then, if we're going to do like a 1A, right, you didn't really have a setup to begin with. It was more of a blind entry and you got lucky. So this is what creates that I closed my position too early. That's one. Two, as to why you're closing your position too early, is because you have a stigma of getting into entries and getting round tripped, and you're nervous, scared, whatever. There's fear that's in there, and you're closing your position early. Just like, you know what, I don't want to get round tripped, so I close my entire position. And then the move starts to go, and then you're like, damn it, I missed it. So I say all that to say this is like, when you get into your positions, give them room to breathe, right? In order for you to identify where those levels for breathing are going to be at, that's going to defer back to the one part. You got to have a setup. If you're unsure as far as where it's going to go, a good way of looking at it is look at previous 4-hour highs, right? Because that's your intraday time frame, your 4-hour. Or look at sessions. If you're trading New York, London, or Asia, look at the session lows and session highs. Utilize those as targets for yourself. So let's say, for example, New York PM session decides to go back to New York morning session low of 1761. Take heavy profit. Take 80% there. One, because you're at a target that makes sense. Two, you're still going to be able to leave a runner in the event that it does keep pushing up higher. Then you have the opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let this bad boy run, and that runner can turn into something to help you build your short down the road. But if you struggle with setups or identifying them, I mean, our server, a lot of you guys that are in here are from our server, but if you're not part of our server, it's free. However, you could ask these questions. I get asked that question all the time for multiple different coins. And sometimes I don't even know them. I haven't even looked at it. But if it's something that I've looked at, or if maybe you got a chart that's on there, I'll take a look. I'll review it. And that's only, that's the only way that we're ever going to get better is by asking those key questions, things that you're uncertain about, and then putting those things into practice. We got a member in here, Boy, who's a great example, not to shine too much light on it, but I promise you this is a positive light. Started off with a couple different strategies, didn't know which one to pull from, didn't know which one to identify. We've had one-on-one conversations. It was like, this week focus on this, the next week focus on that. And essentially you're building something. I like to compare it to like a vehicle, right? Like you're building a vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B. Just because you got 4 tires doesn't mean it's going to go. It doesn't mean it's going to go fast. Doesn't mean it's going to have longevity. You need to have all those moving parts that are in there. So you got to take it one piece at a time. And Boy has been doing that over the course of the last several months. And, his strategy has refined. I've noticed it. And that's not to blow up his head or anything like that. I'm just using him as a real-time example that you can actually go into the server and you can see what the guy's doing. Another person like that is going to be Gus. Gus has his own corner. Gus is doing several different things on the back end in real life, but he's constantly refining his strategy, constantly implementing different setups and different ideas to refine it. And so that's the approach that you need to take when you're trading. You know, I get a mixed bag of individuals that are just asking like, you know, what's your entry? What's your stop loss? What's your TP? Immediately I pinpoint those individuals as just, you know, as gamblers. It's different if you're like, hey, what's your TP? This is what I'm looking at. These are my levels. Then yeah, then that's an open traders discussion. But if you have no charts, you have nothing that you're actually putting in front where there's a meaningful conversation where people can examine it, give counter arguments for it, then literally you're just, you know, you're opening up the server, you're opening up these streams just because in your mind this is your casino. And you won't get that from me. You won't get that from. We do enough spoon feeding inside the server, which I enjoy doing. But when it comes to that particular thing, you know, it's a hard no. It's like, bro, put up a chart. Let's go from there. Because what if the streams are not here? What if the server's not there? Like the idea behind the entire community is to make you self-sufficient. So that way you can create generational wealth. I don't know what your families look like. I don't know what your circumstances look like for finances, but this is a tool. This is a vehicle that can alter some of those things. And it doesn't come overnight. It comes week by week, trial and error, setting yourself on fire, metaphorically, making those mistakes and then learning from those mistakes. But I come across guys that just ask the same questions that don't implement anything at all. Drives me bananas. I'm like, why are you even trading, bro? I'll get off my soapbox. Yeah, you get the execution over time, brother. It just comes over time. You know, execution is speed. That's really all it is. And one thing that really help you with execution, this is for anybody that struggles with execution, trade one pair. One pair. Because you can familiarize yourself with what those moves look like. And you can go to sleep and have an alarm going off and you already know where it's at. But when you have multiple different coins or you're trying multiple different setups on different coins, sometimes it gets a little fuzzy. So I always recommend to people, I'm like, find one coin. It could be BTC, it could be ETH, it could be humanity, whatever that is. It could be BEAT, it could be any one of those. Like, find one and master it. Majority of you guys that have been following me for over the last couple of years, you guys know that I predominantly have always traded ETH. And over the years, you know, I've sprinkled in different setups, things like that, but I've always traded ETH. And I always get the question, why ETH only? Why ETH only? It's because I've mastered that. That's where I felt comfortable. And by mastering that one pair, I kill two birds with one stone. I refine my strategy consistently. I build the patience and the mindset of how to become a profitable trader. It's very difficult when you're looking at different coins that have different setups. Then you'll start to create confusion or start doubting your bias. I heard this over the weekend. Decision paralysis. You'll start to have decision paralysis. So to help you with your execution, just find one pair, make it your thing. Scissors is a good example of that. I mean, he's traded River for some time, and there was another coin back in the day. I forgot which one it was, but that was his thing. You know, he couldn't get certain moves to stick on ETH, and it's not that the moves were there; it just wasn't working for him. Like for me, like if I were to go and trade Inge, that coin, bro, it's my nemesis. It's my nemesis. I can never get the right setup on Inge, so I don't force it anymore. I just like, it's not for me. The way that I trade my technical analysis, it just don't work. It just doesn't work. That's proper English. Yeah, that's not bad. BTC got something that's a little bit more dominant, slower, it can give you good yield, but then you have H, this you can utilize that as fuel. You know, that's kind of like what I'm doing with some of these poop coins that are out there, like Truth or Beat or even Clo for that matter. I'm just using those as vehicles. When ETH is moving slow, I can trade those, and then I can flip those profits into ETH somehow, some way. False breakout, right? Is that what you're gonna give me here, ETH? You're gonna give me a little falsy false? A little falsy false? I don't know, you tested it. Now, punish all the breakout traders. That's what you like to do. You love doing that. You love giving us false hope. Son of a gun, I keep doing that. Select this. False hope, and then come right back down. Let's see if we can do a private class inside the server, a free class on Wednesday. Wednesdays are usually off days for me on streams, but what I'll do is I'll put a poll up later on today on things that you guys want to learn. And that's really how I run a lot of the classes, at least the free classes, is I get your guys' feedback on the areas that you struggle or the areas that you want to learn more to get better at. And then just based on that poll, you know, whichever is the leading decision, or at least the leading topic that you guys want to learn, we'll dive into that. BTC running the show. Oh, it's BTC out right now. $64 and 2% gain. What does this look like? Yeah, USDT. I don't trust USDT here, bro. I just don't. I would love to see it flush that 9. I would love to see USDT just flush that 9. It would just make me feel better. Like, okay, from a technical analysis perspective and TD9 sequential perspective, I would just want to see it flush this 9. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see it flush that 9. And if it does flush that 9, you know, you gotta kind of look at your charts and go, where's ETH gonna go? Like, ETH is definitely gonna come here. ETH is definitely gonna come here, and then it opens up the door for, what was it, a 1 hour? Or no, it was 4 hour we were looking at. You know, it opens up the door for these levels right here. That's if USDT decides to cooperate, and we're only going to see that if we get rotation. You guys think I have enough alarms? Jeez Louise, bro. Let's clean that up. There you go, Truth. I like it. Anybody get in on Truth? If you took any of the setups today during the stream, do me a solid. Inside the server, under the wins and lessons section, post your wins inside there. Or if you had a loss, it don't matter. But I think a lot of you guys want to post your wins. So post your wins in there. Write a short little message, you know, this came from stream, or this was my setup, whatever. And then post your P&L card. Because you guys will be spotlighted on the site, just as an FYI. So on the site, long section. There it is. You'll be showcased inside here. And then whatever the message was. I think I shared this earlier, but that's what I'm asking for, so that way you guys are showcased. You know, give credit where credit's due. Oh, I almost hit the wrong button. How many times have you guys sausage fingered and hit, you went to hit a button and end up hitting close all? Man, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me and royally made me irritated. I just take that as divine, like God saying, nope, no more, you're done. USDT symmetrical. What are you on daily? Where are you getting your symmetrical from? Are you going here? I don't know if that's how you're looking at it. I'm not sure. Just let me know in the chat. Or post in the server, it don't matter. 4 hour and 8 hour? Ooh, you're using an 8 hour. I like that. I can dig that. I love using unique time frames. I see your top barrier. I guess my concern is this bottom barrier. Unless you want to stretch this out. And you got a massive one. You know, you can't get that far. But I just noticed that support. Meh. Meh. Kimberly, do me a favor. Just post your symmetrical in VIP for me so I can see what you're seeing. Por favor. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. I see it. I see what you're looking at, Kimberly. I see it. So the bottom hasn't been touched yet. Yeah. I see that. Maybe that bottom, if that bottom can clear, you're an 8 hour. So you're going from here to here. Oh my gosh. Come on, tools. This is what she has. It's valid in that sense from a pattern perspective. Let's see where the bottom of this is. What is this? That's 8.3. We're on a daily. So maybe I want to see it come down a little bit lower, to be honest with you. Because I really I want to see it clear this. And that puts me right around, I mean, I got to clear the whole thing. That puts me at 8.1. So if we go back to that 8 hour, I mean, that can get deeper. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So that lined up. We might need to expand that here. Like, not even constitute this as a touch and then get their touch over here. So what was that? I don't know why I did that. Like that. But I'm with you though. There's a coin called sign taking a sign. That's funny. That's what's up. Yeah, so a nice little flush on that, man, would be good. That 8 hour looks good. I'll keep that for reference. Let me make sure that these transpose over onto all time frames. I can come back to my daily. I mean, it could be even wider, but see, once we get into here, then we're kind of SOL. So if I'm USDT, like, I would need to hold this if I'm going to go bullish, like parabolic bullish. Oh, nice. One of my students hit his target for the day. That's what's up. Shout out, brother. Shout out. That's good. Love to see that. Love to see that. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Good job, Omar. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, Omar. Good job, good job, good job. Wave 5 makes no sense. You're talking about USDT. Can a C wave finish in 3-wave structure? Yeah. Yeah, you can. But you'll usually most likely have a, that's a zigzag. Your C wave will finish as a zigzag if you're inside of a wave 3. It won't finish flat because your 3 is your most impulsive wave. So if I'm measuring an ABC inside of a wave 3, then I'm looking for zigzag levels. And that's going to be, you know, beyond 1.414. Good question, though. Good question to ask. And there it goes. ETH doing its thing. Come on back down. That's what you'd like to do. Come on back down. This is why we have truth to protect, and we still have the short. Technically that did clear, but yeah, it was just this little scalp on that. Bro, how crazy would this be if this is just a 1? And it's a A, or maybe a 1, excuse me, a 1. Same difference. I just don't know if A is done, but like if A finished here, I'd get like a B, and then I can come back down and clear this. Yeah, we're right back to that 36. Yeah, flush all these long, not long, these breakout traders. I have a feeling that's what it's going to do here. Just and pull right back up. What is this? 27? Look, we got a shave bottom that sits over here too. And I believe I have sell side liquidity that sits over here. No, I got a TP that sits here. No, I'm still wrong. I have sell side liquidity, so I was looking at that right. I can stomach that. Okay. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Come on, ETH. You want to come to 27? And 36 again. Appreciate that, Kimberly. Thank you. Thank you for putting the setup in there. You know, Kimberly's another one. Kimberly's got good ideas, especially with BTC. We just need to persuade her to open up a journal so everybody can follow those fire ideas. No pressure. But you guys know the saying, real recognizes real. We got a good collective of traders inside server. They just need more exposure. Ooh, look at Truth. What did you do? Oh, look at you. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to take some profits off of that. Mm-hmm. I like that. See, I'm filling in this gap. So there's no point in me holding on, expecting it to, you know, reach a floor. If it does, it does, but take my profit where I can, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yeah, I think I'll actually close the entire thing. Let's see what that looks like. Shit, oh no, 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 you're not. Let's go to 1 hour first. Oh no, you're not. Yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna wait a little bit. Just take the profits. You come back up, I'm gonna add right back to you again. Yeah, that was a good little move on Truth. Yeah, ETH on that struggle bus right now. The 15-minute close under that? Oh, it's about to. Yep, lower we go. Done. Those ETH longs are not going to perform. Yep. That's what I was afraid of. This move right here. Yeah, you want to get to this 20s, 30s, 27 area. What is that, 30? Yeah. Yep. There she goes. So the long is showing invalidation, just as an FYI. Use You son of a donkey. You better not. You better keep coming down. I need you to come and clear this imbalance for me, please. Thank you. Come on. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Come on down. Come on. Come give me an entry. Come give me an entry. Somehow, some way, bearish dominance is still there, but 15 minute, not so much. 15 minutes, like, yeah, we're just getting started. 4 hour, loss of strength, but still has bullish dominance, oddly enough. I don't need you anymore. Yeah, I'm still going to leave you there, just for reference. I just took profits on Truth. That's all I did. Easy run on Truth, an easy 180. Now my main focus right now is going to be what does ETH want to do here? I need this to be cleared. Let's go ahead and open up that. Right, because we're on execution timeframes, right? So really looking for this and this, but remember we got all this down here, this fair value gap of where it can come down to. So just because it clears it doesn't mean immediate entry. I left the runner on Truth just as an FYI. So even if it came back to entry, I'm good. Good with the profits that we did on it. Good boy, ETH. Come on down. Can we just imagine? Can we just picture this retracing the entire move all the way down to here? Because that's what ETH does. So we had a good setup on Truth. We got we have a invalidation on ETH long. That's kind of how we're gonna, I wouldn't say finish the day per se, but finish the streams, you know, from a recap perspective. Overall, I enjoyed, you know, solid 3 hours with you guys. We'll be doing the exact same thing tomorrow, same time, same place, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually wait for New York market to open. We're going to have pre-market analysis that you'll see first thing in the morning. So before, you know, we even hop onto the streams, a lot of those setups are already going to be posted on the site and inside VIP section. So if you guys are curious as to how to gain access to that, the link to the server is inside of the description. Coupled with that, the link to our site is also inside of our server. Other than that, I'm hoping you guys enjoyed your time while you're here, learned something, made some profits. I certainly enjoyed my time with you guys, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Be safe, be profitable, and above all, if no one's told you this today, Jesus loves you. I love you. Take care, and God bless.